Day 4, Jose Sarria. Would you believe me if I told you that the first openly gay person to run for office in the United States was actually not Harvey Milk? It was a Latino man by the name of Jose Sarria. So, Jose was born in San Francisco of Colombian and Nicaraguan parents. He served in the US Army, and all he wanted to do, all this man wanted to do was be a teacher. He was caught in a sting operation at the St. Francis Hotel, and he maintained his innocence up until the day he died. So, if I remember correctly, he was born in 1922, and he lived until 2013. And I only know that because there's a plaque on my Castro tour, and I have somewhat of a visual memory. I'm pretty sure those dates are correct, but what I'm getting at is that at the time, it was not legal to be gay. It was legal to openly discriminate against gay people in housing, employment, etc. So Jose maintained his innocence up until the very end, but the claim was that at the St. Francis Hotel, he was caught with another man trying to solicit sex. And with that charge on his record, he would never have been able to enter the teaching profession. So again, I say once again that Jose maintained his innocence up until the very end, up until the end of his life. So after that happened, he got work at the Black Cat Cafe, which is located, it's no longer open, but it's located roughly across the street from where the Transamerica Pyramid is in North Beachish FIDI, Financial District area. And he actually won what do they call that? When you have a set stay residency. He won a residency, I think it was 3 weeks. And I remember when I was reading up and studying this guy, like part of his sass was like, oh, so first you're gonna throw me in prison, but now y'all are gonna pay to see me perform. And so he started off like singing along with his tenor voice to the organ. It turned into this whole routine that people would come out to watch. And again, he won this 3-week residency that was paid. If I remember correctly, I think it was like $50 a week. But let's fast forward to the year 1961, I'm pretty sure. 1961, when Jose decided to run for office. So at the time, the Board of Supervisors in San Francisco, it was not 11 members the way it is now. I think it was a much smaller board, and it was the case that the entire city voted for the entire Board of Supervisors, as opposed to the way it is currently, where every district votes for their own representative. So, 2 days before the filing deadline closed, if I'm not mistaken, an additional 39 people signed up to run because Jose had a very good shot of winning, and he actually won 6,000 votes, putting him in 9th place, which was not enough to land him a spot on the Board of Supervisors. But as we know the story goes, Harvey Milk won in 1978, so not quite 20 years later. So Jose live long enough to see his legacy carried out. He wasn't elected, and he did live a long time, but he also founded the Imperial Court System, which is the largest drag house in the world, if I'm not mistaken. Huge, prolific HIV/AIDS fundraisers. And I want to close this little clip, this little factoid about Jose Sarria by mentioning his drag name, which was the Emperor Widow Norton. So I already made a video on who Emperor Norton was. Go watch that one. But in his words, in Jose's words, he chose that name, the Emperor Widow Norton, because in his words, people already know that he's a queen and he doesn't need to remind people. So that's Jose Sarria, the first openly gay person to run for office in North America.